Ladies and gentlemen, it is a real pleasure to have former lead singer of Journey, rock and roll royalty, Steve Perry, on the phone with us this morning. Hi, Steve.
How are you?
Good. Wow, Carrie, how about this?
Yeah, I can't. I can hardly speak, and that's unusual. But this,
No, I want to hear Carrie's voice too. Hi, Carrie.
this is just an absolute pleasure. Thanks for talking to us this morning.
My pleasure.
You've been away for a long time. You just stopped. I mean, you were at the last show, I believe, was in February of '87 with Journey. Was this something building that every show to that point you thought to yourself, you know what, I've got to do something? Or was there a certain event that just happened that said, okay, this is it?
Well, Jim, you kind of nailed it. I think it wasn't something that happened overnight. I think it was a long progression of touring really hard and enjoying the incredible success that we all had together. And performing for people was a joy and a dream come true. But over a period of time and the touring schedule and what we used to call road burn, which was basically just not knowing almost what city you're in, because you're traveling so much. And plus, party favors maybe occasionally on a night off or something. So you put that all together, it can catch up to you, and it did to me. But back in the day, we were just rocking our brains out. We were loving every bit of it. At the same time, I wasn't telling anybody, my heart's getting a little empty here. I'm not connecting with my passion for music that I had discovered when I was 5 years old. I'd lost that passion for it. And so when I told them, it was a shock.
So they were blindsided by it, but you kind of knew that it was going in this direction.
I did know it was going that direction, but it wasn't something I wanted to preemptively start talking about until it just hit the wall. Then I had to do it.
We're talking to Steve Perry, the new album, Traces, first solo album in nearly 25 years, comes out October 5th, but you can pre-order it right now.
I'm just curious because you said that you have had a love of music since you were like 5 or 6 years old.
That's right.
When did you know, though, that you had that voice, that amazing voice?
The voice has been something that has been, I think, evolving over the years. All singers, I think, start to mimic people that they love when they first hear music. And my dad was a singer. He had a beautiful sort of baritone voice. I was a tenor. My mom was a dancer, although I don't really dance that great, but I move the best I can to the music. I think that back in the day, there was just songs that I started listening to when I was 5, 6 years old, up to like 10 and 12 and 13 years old, that just slayed me emotionally. They spoke to me, especially around the age of 7 when my parents got a divorce. I literally moved into the landscape of my 45s and what is going on in those tracks. What is happening with that echo? Listen to that voice. Listen to that melody. Listen to that drum pocket. What's he saying and how is he saying it? It's like everything became a very serious study to my heart.
In your first release from the new album, Traces, Steve, No Erasing, this is kind of a reunion or emotional reunion type of song.
It was patterned in the beginning about two people who go to a class reunion. They haven't seen each other in years, and he's got his life and his other families on the other side of the country. She's got his, and her life is on the other side of the country. And they get together in the class reunion situation. They go outside and start talking about old times. They go sit in their car. They drive to a spot like I used to drive to when I was a kid, which in the central San Joaquin Valley of California were canals. There were so many irrigational canals that we would drive out on these canals, park, jump in the back seat of a car, and we'd smooch, So, you know what I mean? And so, and whatever else was possible. But anyway, that's where, so it's about those kind of moments, and these people are reminiscing about that in the back seat of her car.
Steve, you've made a return now to recording. Do you plan on returning to the stage?
Boy, that's something we're talking about, and I'm sure we're going to get into serious conversations about that as soon as the record's released, and sit down, take a couple of weeks off, and then sit down and talk about the future of live performance. I can only tell you this. I had not been on a stage, I think, in 25 years. I think that's what E from the Eels told everybody that night. in St. Paul at the Fitzpatrick Theater. I think that was in 2014. It was a thrill for me to walk out there. He had been after me to do that for a long time, and I love the Eels. And finally I said, okay. And I love the song, It's a Emma. And I've always loved the melody of that, and I love the strength of the lyric, if you say it like you're supposed to, with the melody. It's such a juxtaposed, beautiful thing. I had experienced what it feels like being here without you, thinking about the good times, thinking about the bad. I love that song. And so, you know, one thing led to another. I showed up. He walked me out there, and I was so overwhelmed by the response of the audience, and I really enjoyed performing again. I really did.
You have, you know, some performers, you like them, but I don't know too many performers that have an emotional connection to their audience, and you were the soundtrack of so many people, and people listening to us right now, if they could, they would say, we love you, and thank you, and for everything.
Thank you so much to the both of you. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Carrie, so much. I appreciate that.
And you know what, Steve? If you ever want to change the lyrics to "Oh Carrie" instead of "Oh Sherry,"
oh Carrie, I like that. It's got a nice tune to it.
I love it.
Do you know the people thought forever? They thought I was saying I could have had a scone. No, I should have been gone. No, you said I could have had a scone. No, that's not what I said.
Awesome.
All right, the new album is Traces, October 5th. Pre-order now. Steve, thank you. You're the best.
Thank you.
A great way to wake up. Jim and Carrie in the morning.
Should be fun.
Should be amazing.
On Fun 101.7.